Some people don't need noise to feel alive. They find their heartbeat in silence, their energy in stillness. For them, home is not a place to hide. It's a place to return. While the world races toward endless distractions, they find meaning in simplicity, in the soft hum of a fan, the smell of coffee, or sunlight resting on their desk. This calm isn't loneliness. It's a love language of peace. Psychologists say these people often have higher emotional awareness. They recharge through solitude. And maybe that's why home feels like freedom. Not confinement, but quiet liberation. People who love staying home often live the richest inner lives. Their imagination never rests. Their thoughts travel to places their feet don't need to. Inside their minds, conversations, reflections, and dreams keep moving. What looks like silence from the outside is actually symphony within. Psychologists call this high internal self-presence, the ability to stay deeply connected to one's thoughts and emotions. They process feelings, analyze experiences, and build meaning quietly. Their solitude is not empty. It's full of stories. They don't need the world's noise to feel alive. They already have entire worlds within them. They don't chase applause, they chase alignment. People who love staying home aren't avoiding the spotlight. They've just learned peace is louder than praise. While others measure worth in likes or attention, they measure it in quiet satisfaction. Their evenings are slow, intentional, real. They prefer moments that heal over moments that impress. Psychologically, they often score high in self-concept clarity, knowing who they are and what truly matters. That's why their calm confuses people, because in a noisy world, inner peace looks rebellious. But to them, it's just authenticity without the performance. Science agrees. Solitude isn't strange, it's essential. Studies show that people who spend quality time alone often develop better emotional regulation and creativity. When you remove noise, your brain finally processes emotion, memory, and intuition clearly. For home lovers, solitude isn't a void. It's a reset. It refines thoughts, strengthens focus, and quiets anxiety. Their calm isn't accidental. It's neurological balance. They've simply mastered the art of tuning out the world to tune into themselves. In psychology, this is called intentional isolation. Not loneliness, but mindful restoration. A healing the world rarely understands. People who love staying home often feel emotions more deeply. Crowded spaces and unpredictable energy can overwhelm their nervous system. They crave environments where they can control sensory input, sounds, lights, even people. It's not fear, it's sensitivity. Their empathy runs high. Their minds absorb moods like sponges. At home, they feel safe enough to exhale. This emotional sensitivity isn't weakness, it's awareness. They understand what drains and what heals. Psychology calls this sensory processing sensitivity, a trait linked with high empathy and intuition. Their quiet doesn't hide fragility. It protects their peace. People often misread those who love staying home. You're missing out, they say. But they're not missing life. They're filtering it. They choose quality over quantity, depth over noise. Their silence is not emptiness, it's discernment. They don't reject people. They just value peace more than performance. They love quietly, care deeply, and recharge alone. It's not distance, it's balance. They experience the world in their own rhythm, slow, thoughtful, meaningful. And though their world looks small, it holds a universe of sensitivity, awareness, and authenticity. They're not disconnected. They're deeply, consciously connected to themselves. When home lovers spend time alone, they aren't being idle. They're creating. Solitude becomes their workshop. Their ideas bloom in quiet corners. Their art grows between still moments. The world outside can distract, but their minds design beauty in silence. Psychologists say solitude enhances creativity because it allows uninterrupted thought flow. That's why many writers, painters, and innovators prefer solitude. They don't escape the world, they build one. When they stay home, they're not retreating. They're constructing meaning, art, peace, and vision. Their home is not a cage. It's a studio where imagination finally breathes. It's not that they dislike people, it's that people cost energy. Those who love staying home understand emotional economics. Every interaction, every crowd, every plan takes something from them. Home is where they recharge that invisible battery. Psychologists link this to energy management, not introversion. They know their limits. They protect their bandwidth. While others burn out chasing constant activity, home lovers reset. That's why they appear calm. They understand energy is sacred, and peace to them is not a luxury, it's maintenance. They don't need isolation to escape life. They need it to sustain it. People who love staying home are often emotionally intelligent. They think before they react. They listen before they speak. They feel before they judge. Their time alone helps them observe, not just others, but themselves. That reflection builds empathy. Psychology calls this meta-awareness, understanding one's emotional patterns. That's why they often give the gentlest advice, the calmest responses, and the most grounded presence. They've learned peace by sitting with pain. They've mastered understanding by being alone with their own chaos. Home isn't a shelter from emotion. It's where they learned how to handle it beautifully. For many, home isn't just comfort, it's healing. It's the place where they've cried, rebuilt, and grown quietly. When the world outside felt too sharp, they softened inside. Psychologically, this is self-regulation, using safe spaces to restore emotional stability. Every quiet morning, every candle lit, every slow breath is therapy. They don't run from life. They nurture it from within. Home is their therapist, their friend, their reflection. And the peace they build there isn't temporary. It's strength disguised as softness. Because healing doesn't always sound loud. Sometimes, it just sounds like silence. For some people, attention isn't joy, it's pressure. Being in the spotlight feels unnatural, even suffocating. Birthdays, with all their eyes and expectations, amplify that discomfort. These are often people who've learned to stay low-key, blending in to protect their peace. They prefer small, genuine gestures over loud applause. Psychologists link this to self-conscious sensitivity, when one's internal comfort outweighs social approval. So when they downplay their birthday, it's not rejection, it's protection. They're not avoiding love, they're filtering it, choosing sincerity over spectacle. That's not coldness, it's emotional intelligence in disguise. Sometimes, people stop celebrating not by choice but by repetition. Forgotten birthdays leave quiet scars. After a few years of unnoticed days, the heart builds armor. It's just another day, they say. But deep down it's self-preservation. When expectations repeatedly meet silence, the mind learns not to expect. Psychologists call this emotional learned helplessness, protecting yourself by numbing anticipation. So when someone shrugs off their birthday, remember, they once cared deeply. Their indifference isn't natural, it's practiced. Behind every calm "it's fine" may lie years of unspoken hurt disguised as maturity. There comes a point when people outgrow the need for acknowledgement. They stop chasing likes, wishes, or gatherings, not because they're cold, but because they've found something deeper: self-value. This shift marks emotional maturity. The birthday becomes personal inventory. What did I learn this year? Not who remembered me. They've replaced validation with gratitude. They've realized that joy doesn't need witnesses. And that realization, quiet, profound, freeing, transforms them from seekers of love into sources of it. It's no longer about who celebrates them, but who they've become. People who've grown through pain often outgrow noise. Birthdays remind them not of parties but of lessons, resilience, healing, becoming. Each year they quietly thank the storms that shaped them. They don't need crowds because they've already met their truest companion, themselves. This isn't loneliness, it's spiritual strength. They understand that peace isn't loud, and self-acceptance doesn't need decorations. Their life is their celebration now, every breath a silent candle. The real gift? Becoming someone they once needed. When someone treats their birthday like a normal day, don't mistake it for emptiness. It's often wisdom in disguise, the kind that comes from surviving, reflecting, and evolving. These people have learned that the quietest days can hold the loudest meaning. They don't wait for others to define their worth anymore. Their celebration is internal, a silent nod to themselves saying, "You made it." And that's the highest form of self-love. Peace that doesn't need an audience. Because sometimes, treating your birthday like a normal day means you've finally found what you were looking for. Yourself.